All right, here's some tips to get you going in week 2 for Zoom features. This student is going to log into My Zoom and click that link. Now, this is the very first time that the student is logging into Zoom this day after he has logged into his Chromebook. The next time he logs into Zoom, it will automatically fill in whatever screen name he gives it right now. So I am going to type in his first and last name. Teachers are or should be encouraging students to do this for security reasons. They will click join. I'm actually going to turn off video because I don't want you to see me right now. Click join. And this student is going to be led in to this classroom by the teacher. Most teachers should have enabled this personal meeting room so that they can verify that the person asking to be let in is someone that should be let in. Now it will connect, and you can see the people in this classroom. The person I just signed in as, the teacher or the host, and then another student. Kind of confusing because the student is me, but all right. If the student would like to change their view, they can change between speaker view. Now this is kind of confusing because right now it's on speaker view, but it says gallery view. So what it's saying is you're going to toggle back to speaker view. So now we're actually in gallery view. So it's kind of the opposite of what you think. If you want to get over to the gallery view, you're going to click it when it says speaker view. Okay, so that's how to change your views. Here's how you unmute. I'm sure most of you have figured that out by now. There are a couple of other features here if you have a different microphone, for example. Same thing here with start video. Uh-oh, there I am. Couple of other features here. Now just know that if your student is on a web-based device such as a Chromebook, they will not have the option to change their background. That is only if they are on a device with a hard drive. So in a cloud-based Zoom window, they will not be able to change their background. The next tab over here is participants. If your student clicks on this, they will over here see all of the participants in this meeting. Now you can see down here it tells me there are 3 and I can actually see them on my screen, but in a Zoom meeting with a very large amount of participants, it's nice to be able to come over here and quickly scroll through and see who is in that meeting. All right. Now up at the top, this is the student I am logged in as. I want you to notice that he has 2 choices. He can unmute himself if he'd like to talk. That is if the teacher has that feature enabled. If the teacher turns off that feature, that should go away. No, it didn't. All right. So if he clicks on it and the teacher has it disabled, then he will not be able to unmute himself. If the teacher enables that function, when he clicks the button unmute, it will unmute. La la la. All right, another feature right here is to rename. Now remember back in that main screen, Travis put in his name, but let's say Travis put in the wrong name and the teacher's saying, Travis, that's not the right name. So one thing can happen, the teacher can rename that student, or another thing can happen, that student can rename themselves. Now know that this will only happen if the teacher has enabled that function. If the teacher disables that function, give me a sec here, I'm going to disable it over here, then it won't even show up as an option for that student. Okay, so that's a little bit about changing names and unmuting. It really depends on how the teacher has the settings set up. Okay. Another thing I want you to notice at the bottom of the participants window is that your student can raise their hand, and if I click this, you'll see next to the student's name, oops, it has a little hand. For the teacher in the teacher's view, what it does is it puts that little hand in the upper left-hand corner of that student's picture. So the teacher can see, regardless of whether she has the participants window open, which students have their hands raised. Now, if he wants to lower his hand, he can do that here, or the teacher can answer the question and then lower the hand for the student. These other icons here will also show up next to the participants. Let's say, for example, the teacher says, "Do you have a pet?" The student can click on yes, and it will show up next to their name, or they can click on no. And what happens is on the teacher's screen, it will keep a tally. It will say 13 people say yes, 14 people say no, and then the teacher can very quickly clear that out. Like, oops, I'm in the wrong spot. They can quickly clear it out if they have the right window open. They can clear it right there. Okay. The student can also take that off just by clicking it again down below. So they can choose yes, no, go slower, go faster. There are a few more options. You can thumbs up, thumbs down, applaud, take a break or need a break. And this one means I've walked away. The thing to know about these icons is they only show up in this participants list. They do not show up on the picture that the teacher is seeing. Now, let's see, invite. I'm not sure what that does. Oh, you can email an invitation. This is probably not going to be something your student will use. The next tab over says chat. So when I click on this, I want you to notice what happens in the participants window. When I click on it, it divides it in half, and now we have two windows, the participants and the chat. Now, again, the teacher has lots of settings on this. She can completely turn off the chat, which will look like this. She can make it so only the host can send messages to students, and then those students can privately write back to them, which is what I normally set it at. Or the teacher that likes mayhem can click on everyone publicly, and then that student can go right here and click everyone and type in whatever they want to say. So those are the three chat functions. Again, those are controlled by the teacher. All right, I've changed it back. The share setting is only if the teacher has enabled it. Let me make sure I have it enabled over here. Yes, I do. The student will click on either desktop if they want them to, or everyone in the meeting to see their entire desktop, or they will click on here if they only want to share the application that they're in, which in this case is Zoom. So they will click on that. Then they have to go back up here and click on the window they want to share. Which application? Is it Chrome or is it Zoom? And then they have to click the share button here. I'm not going to do it now because it will mess up my recording, but those are the steps. I'm going to show you one more time. Again, the teacher needs to have it enabled. They choose desktop or application. In this case, I want to share not my Chrome browser, but my Zoom. Actually, let's see what happens if I share that. Okay, what happens is everyone can see what's on my screen right now. It says the meeting ID and it says stop share. So you can't see what's happening, but everyone else in the Zoom can see everything that's on this student's screen.